Hello, this video explains how you use the business case builder. So you use a business case to justify some kind of investment in changing your business. So we'll start off by naming this project the new building project. Wouldn't be unusual to invest in some new building to increase your capacity. So I'm going to shoot down the bottom here before we look at the middle part, but straight away down here I've got some one-off costs associated with my new building project. One is, let's say, some new machinery, and two is, let's say, the fit out of the new building. And my new machinery is going to cost me £20,000, and I'm going to have to pay for that in month one, and my fit out it's going to cost me £10,000, but I don't have to pay for that until month two. And so you can see up here we've got month across the top here, 1, 2, all the way across to month 12. So this gives you a business case, business justification over a 12-month period. So where we are right now is we've got a new building project. We've figured out we've got some direct costs, some one-off costs, and nothing much else. But clearly the reason we're going to do this, I would imagine, is to get some additional sales. So here I've got a line, additional unit sales. I'm not planning to get any new sales in the first 3 months while we're getting the building up to speed, but thereafter it might look something like this. Additional sale, then 2 additional sales, then 3 additional sales. That sort of pattern over the 12 months, giving us a total here in this total column of 18 additional sales. Doesn't seem to have done much for my income or costs. That's because we haven't yet put the figures in here. So I'm going to assume it's a project business, so each new sale I'm going to call is worth on average £8,000 and costs us on average £5,000. And you can see now that we've started to get some revenue, direct costs, and in fact a gross profit line here. That's saying that over the year, 18 additional sales, 144,000 additional income, 90,000 additional costs, giving me a GP of 54,000 for the year. And you can see because I've got no additional overhead so far, and that goes straight to the bottom line on this business case. So we'll look at overheads in a minute, but first I'd like to draw your attention to this line here, which is cash, or these lines which are cash. And you can see in the income, cash from sales, cash out to suppliers, this is happening in the same month as the invoices are going in and out. So that might be the case for your business, but often in a business, particularly let's say in a project business, we might wait a couple of months for payment, but we might have to pay our suppliers on 30 days in 1 month. So you can see by adjusting these figures, we get this adjustment to cash flow. So our income is delayed by 2 months, our direct costs delayed by 1 month, which is probably more representative of lots of businesses. So we've also got some additional overheads for this project. So obviously one of them is accommodation costs. So on month 1 we start to lease a new building. Let's call it £1,000, or let's call it £500 a month. Additional rental or lease. That goes right across all the months. And it might be that, well, actually I'm thinking I can probably cover 2 additional projects with my existing staff. When I get to 3, we're going to start to struggle, so I need some kind of project person coming on board then. So I'm going to look at their employment costs, and I might also figure out that to do that I need a recruitment cost that will come due when they come on board of, I don't know, let's call it £4,000. And that's going to do for my overheads. So you can see down here I've got this row is totaling the overheads in each month, and this row is a sort of net result of the gross profit and overheads. This row is called contribution to company. You could think of it as net profit for the business case, but assuming you have an existing business that is investing in this, this is what flows to and from that core business's P&L. So that's why we call it contribution to the company. So overall, we've got the 18 extra sales, 144,000 extra income, 90,000 extra costs, 16,000 overheads, giving us an additional contribution or net profit of 38,000 for the year. And that, of course, is a year where, you know, we're pretty slow first 3 months. So the end here, we're making 2,500 net per month. So, you know, we'd be looking at 6,500 net per month. So, you know, you'd be looking at considerably better contribution for a full 12 months of operation. So let's look at our cash position. And you can see that we started with no cash. So just to clarify that, you clearly do have cash in your main business. You may have cash you've put aside for this investment or borrowed for this investment. But we're saying we're going to work the business case as if there was no cash in the business case to start with, which gives us kind of the lowest position, which is here, which is saying along this row, I'm looking for the lowest cash position. And that's equivalent, if you like, to the investment required to get this business case off the ground. So if you were to put that number in here, this row would be positive and it would go to 0 on 1 month. So you can think of it either way. This tells you how much you need to invest. We've also got some kind of closing figures here. So closing, it's not looking too rosy. This still owes us 15,000 quid at the end. So you're saying, well, that's not so good. But if you look at our profit each month, this would very soon, sort of 2-3 months into the next year, this would turn positive. So it will wipe its face, you know, after about 15 months, and thereafter that you'd be in positive cash territory. You're also showing here closing debtors. So at the end of the 12-month period, I've got customers owing me £48,000, and I owe creditors 15,000. So that's about, what's that? That's about 33,000 net additional working capital. So not only have I had to find the 15,000 on the cash, but I need to find this figure, you know, on my working capital. And you might look at those figures and say, well, okay, I can see it's going to come good, but right now I'm not happy with that. And I'm going to go back and say, well, what would I have to do? How more aggressive would I have to be on sales to get this break even sooner, to get my cash position looking more rosy? And if I wanted to do that, perhaps I need to add some marketing costs, or perhaps I need to add some salesman costs in this salary line. So you can play some tunes on this to get the business case to where you need it to be, and where you believe in it, and where anyone you're asking to invest their money or time in it can also believe in it. So pretty powerful, pretty simple. Okay, that's it.